Well met and welcome to you all. I am Merlin the Enchanter, and it is my honor and my duty to welcome all of you who wish to participate in this royal event. Thank you for joining us. Well done indeed. And now I would ask all of you to please rise from your seats and greet with me their most glorious monarchs, Guinevere of Cameliard and Arthur, King of the Britons! Long live the King!
Long live the King!
And God save the Queen!
God save the Queen!
And God save you all, my lords and ladies. Do rise and take your ease. That means you can sit. Excellent. Well, my lords and ladies, this is a most extremely important year for us here. For you see, as our knights are still about in foreign lands, recruiting knights for our round table.
2 years running.
And since there are no invasions, nor intrigues that require our royal pardons.
Strange for this time of year.
Indeed it is. Merlin thought that it would be a wondrous idea if we would regale you, our royal subjects, with some fantastical story of our past, which, quite honestly, sounded like great fun.
Yes.
Indeed.
Much as I am told, in the manner of the knights of old, who would regale each other with tales as gestures of companionship to other knights they met upon the road.
Indeed. For is not all life one great road, and are we not all travelers upon it?
Well spake, my old teacher. But now, which story should we tell? Because they're all so wondrous.
Yes. I have it. Sir Gawain and the Green Knight.
Ooh!
Yes. Oh, Princess Elaine and Lancelot.
What of a tale of your evil half-sister, Morgan Le Fay?
No. All wondrous tales, to be sure. But I think that what we should do for this day is to start at the very beginning, with the tale of how I became king. The story of the sword in the stone.
An excellent suggestion, Your Majesty. Yes.
Very good.
Gwen, darling, where are you going?
Arthur, my dear, I was not in this tale. Well, I was all the way over in France, learning how to be queen while you were squiring and mucking salt. I guess I'm not in the story after all.
Your Majesty, your responsibilities are not relinquished so easily, my dear. There are many points in this story that would be enhanced by song or by sound. Would you not sit amongst your people and instruct them in what to do and say?
Oh, Merlin, gladly. That is, if my people will have me.
What do you say? Yes? Queen, yes?
That's nice. Very well. I shall arrange myself here.
Excellent. Thank you, my love, and thank you, old friend.
Of course.
Now, Merlin, for you. You shall play the role of my foster father, Sir Ector.
Think again, Arthur. I will not.
And why will you not?
Arthur, you were a hothead as a boy, and you remain a hothead to this very day. Think again. Who else was with you when these events took place?
I know very well who was there. I was there. My foster father, Sir Ector, was there. You were there. My brother, Sir Kay, was there.
And I was there. I played a part in those events as they took place, and I intend to play the same part now. The part of Merlin the Enchanter.
As you will, Merlin, as you will. But now, who shall play the part of Sir Ector?
Oh, Your Majesty!
Yeah?
If my poor talent could be of service, I would like to help.
Of course, Mayor Bunting! My lords and ladies, your own Lord Mayor Bunting shall play the role of Sir Ector. Welcome into the stage, please.
Lord Mayor. Well chosen.
Thank you, good people of Caerleon. Oh, your confidence in me is an inspiration. And I would like to say that on this upcoming election day, that I would like to...
Lord Mayor, not just now. We have a story to tell.
Yes, sorry.
Now, if that is all settled, The story begins, my friends, when I was but a small boy at the age of 10.
Actually, Arthur, the story begins long before that.
Oh?
You see, long ago, the old king of this land, Uther Pendragon, died, leaving no child of his own to claim the throne. With no clear heir in sight, warlords from all across this great land came forth to do battle with one another to claim the crown for their own. Guinevere,
Yes.
that was your first cue.
Oh my goodness.
Have your people make the sounds of war.
Oh, I shall indeed. Oh, very well. This side of the audience, raise your fists in the air and go, oh! This side, raise your hands and go, rabble, rabble, rabble!
Rabble, rabble,
On the count of three, everyone! Rabble, rabble! Compel! Thwack! Thwack!
What good is it for? Absolutely nothing. Say it again. I said what?
The heavenly powers, fearing the destruction of all the good people of this land to war, sent down a miraculous symbolic gift of peace on Christmas Day. A sword buried to its hilt within an anvil on a stone. And upon the hilt of that sword, written in letters of gold, it said, "Whosoe'er pulls the sword from this anvil is right wise king, born of England." From that day unto this, every year on Christmas Day in London, a great tournament is held, and all who attend are given opportunity to try to pull the sword from the anvil.
And yet, none were able to do so. So over the many years, many knights would come forth and attempt to pull the sword, but they could not. Until finally, the miracle was forgotten. Now, about this time, in the far-off castle of Sauvage, I was but a poor orphan boy by the nickname of Wart.
What?
Yes, I was called so because of my much diminished size. Yes, I was much smaller back then.
Much?
Well, I was smaller than I am now. Anyway, I was but a happy child, much given to moments of daydreaming and carelessness in my chores. A time that would bring the anger of my foster father, Sir Ector, to bear upon me. Now, Lord Mayor, this is your part.
Your Majesty, what is it that you would exactly like me to do?
Oh, berate me. Yell at me until my teeth rattle in my head. Call me a listless lout and an absolute layabout.
Such good memories.
Go on.
I just can't yell at you. It seems wrong and a bit treasonous, if you ask me.
Makes a point.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah. You know, in point of fact, the major problem here is I do not believe the audience is getting the absolute scale of the size of the thing. I have an idea. I require some assistance. I need a volunteer. All right, I have something for you later, I promise. How about you, my dear, young dear? Come here, come here. What is your name?
Jasmine.
Jasmine. Lords and ladies, a round of applause for Jasmine. Jasmine, still kind of tall. Could you possibly get down like onto this? Excellent. Come a little forward. Goodly. Now, Jasmine shall be playing the part of young me. Now, Lord Mayor, yell at her.
Oh, this is terrible. Forgive me, lass. Arthur, you are a disgrace to this castle. You are a lazy lout and a buffoon and a... I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's all right, Jasmine. Come here. No, shh, it's all, the bad man won't hurt you. I promise. Lords and ladies, a round of applause, please, for Jasmine. Thank you, Jasmine. Thank you. Oh, we're just kidding, Lord Mayor. But honestly, lords and ladies, did that not appear better having Jasmine stand in my stead?
Aye.
Now, tell me, Lord Mayor, what do you think?
Press, Your Majesty. Thank
Good.
you.
Good. Now, lords and ladies, around this time, when I was trying to evade one of these lashings by my father, it was that I met the wizard Merlin.
Actually, it was me who was coming to find him. I had discovered through my spells that a person of great potential, indeed one who might very shape the fortunes of history itself, lived somewhere in this area, and I was eager to offer my services as teacher to help him reach that great potential.
And so
Of course, when I saw the wart, I had no idea what he was going to become, but I saw something in him that other lesser eyes did not.
And so it was that Merlin approached my foster father and, in exchange for room and board, promised to be my tutor in the days to come. My foster father, Sir Rector, was much happy for this arrangement, as it took me out of his hair and allowed him time to focus on the training of my brother Sir Kay in the knightly arts.
Indeed, and the lessons I taught him. I realized very quickly that for such a careless daydreamer, ordinary lessons would not penetrate his thick skull.
Merlin!
And so, I endeavored to make the world of nature his classroom. Why, that very first day, right there in the moat of the castle, I turned us both into fish.
So that this way I might perfect my concentration. For I had quickly learned that as a fish, if you were not absolutely focused, you would simply wind up turning in circles.
What a wonderful opportunity. Everyone, take the king's example and be fish swimming in the moat. Everyone stand up, put your hand to your side, and go. Very good. Wonderful.
And it was after this that Merlin turned us both into ants, that we might infect a colony of ants, thereby learning the dangers of living in a society where conformity is all, and free will and imagination is to be rigidly stamped out.
After that, Arthur received lessons as a badger, an owl, and lastly, a lowly sparrow.
Merlin, that's a bit of a tall order.
Yes.
But I think we can do it. Now,
Excellent.
These people in the audience, you're all my badges. You're all the owls. You go. Here, these two benches here, you are all my ants. Feelers in the air, feelers in the air. Yes, and you behind me, my twittering birds. On the count of three, let us make a raucous tumult to shake the very foundations all the way to the dungeon stage. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3.
A veritable forest we have here, yes.
Excellent, well performed, each and every one of you. I think that this proves we are going to have to make greater use of our audience as we reach the climax of this story, Merlin.
A good point, yes.
But, know you, all of these lessons, while enjoyable, were also very, very important. For as a badger, I learned of tenacity and the willingness to hold on and keep those things that were most dear to me. And as an owl, I learned of the wisdom of calm.
Some would say you still have some issue with that one, Arthur.
Merlin!
But be that as it may, most importantly, from the lowly sparrow, Arthur learned that when viewed from above, there are no boundaries, save those men create for themselves. And that when viewed from on high, all men are truly equal.
Aye, indeed. It was a great lesson for me then, and it is a lesson that I hold with me to this very day. Then what did we do?
Well, after much education and training, we were certain that Arthur was bound for a path towards that of a wise man, or perhaps a learned instructor to others.
Aye, indeed.
Oh, I know this part.
Oh,
It was Christmas time, and suddenly you found yourself called upon.
Oh, that's right. Oh, my brother Kay, his squire, had taken ill with the mumps, and so I was called forth to squire for him. We came to the streets of London.
There, in all the colour and pedantry of the greatest city on earth.
Indeed.
I was to finally be overjoyed to visit all of the peoples of Britain for the grand tournament.
Indeed. The magic, the pageantry, the cheers from the crowd, the snow falling gently on the streets, and the joyous sound of Christmas carols in the air.
Let us sing my favourite oldie-worldy Christmas carol, Jingle Bells. We shall sing one chorus with a rousing hey at the end. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey!
But, however, in all the excitement, you'd forgotten your brother's sword back at the inn. Panicking, with little time to lose, you were looking everywhere for a sword. Anywhere.
But unfortunately, the door had been sealed and bolted. Everyone was at the tournament. So I began looking around for any sword that I could possibly bring for my brother.
I don't have one. Do you have one sword? We need a sword somewhere.
Then there, in the far-off distance, I saw an old churchyard. And there in the far corner, I'd spied a sword, resting in an anvil upon a stone. Immediately, I tried to make my way to the sword. A hush fell over all. Then the wind began to blow, softly at first, but then stronger and stronger, until finally it was hard for me to even take a step. There, at the sword, I reached out my hand and... Wait. I'm sorry, we're still missing the whole scale of the thing. Guinevere, do you remember that young man I had pointed out earlier in the audience? Can you see if he is noble of spirit enough to come join us on the stage? And while she does that, I will finally get to do that one thing I have always wanted to do. Direct.
Yes, it's delightful.
Come.
Ah, yes.
What is your name, my young man? Ryan, lords and ladies, a round of applause for Ryan. I promise, Ryan, this won't hurt a bit. Just reach out your hand and put it upon the sword and the stone. Excellent. Now, don't pull it out until I say so, all right? Excellent. Now, there with my hand upon the sword, I pulled once. Nothing. I pulled twice. Nothing. But then I remembered my lessons. The tenacity of the badger. The concentration of the fish. The wisdom of the owl. And with these lessons in my mind, I gave a mighty pull of the sword, and now! Pull it! Two hands, Ryan, 2 hands! And the sword came free! A chorus of angels did cry out at its pulling!
Long live Arthur, King of the Britons!
Long live Arthur, King of the Britons!
And long live Ryan! Thank you so much for your round of applause. And thus it was that I drew the sword from the stone and was likewise named King of all the Britons.
And wasn't I surprised when I found out?
My lords and ladies, we thank you for attending us upon this storytelling time. I would like to take an opportunity to thank those of you who assisted us, all of our fish and ants and Ryan and Jasmine and all of you. A round of applause for all of our presenters. A round of applause for my good subject, Mayor Bunting.
Huzzah!
My maid advisor, Merlin the Wise.
Huzzah!
And of course, my most beauteous and talented Queen, Guinevere.
My talents pale in comparison to that of our noble audience. Pray give yourselves a grand round of applause for bringing us story tonight.
We thank you all, my my lords and ladies, if you have enjoyed this story, please tell everyone that you see, because we will be performing this again right here at 4:30 of the clock.
Indeed.
Until then, we hope to see you out and about, and that we hope you enjoy the rest of your day here at the Connecticut Renaissance Fair. Thank you, one and all.
Long live the king!
Long live the king!
God save the queen!
God save the Queen!
And God save all of you!
Well spoken, well spoken.